Our commencement speaker tells her remarkable story to the world in her book, Left to Tell. The riveting narrative begins, and I quote, "I heard the killers call my name. They were on the other side of the wall, and less than an inch of plaster and wood separated us. Their voices were cold, hard, and determined. She's here. We know she's here somewhere. Find her. Find Immaculée." There were many voices, many killers. I could see them in my mind, my former friends and neighbors who had always greeted me with love and kindness, moving through the house, carrying spears and machetes and calling my name. "I've killed 399 cockroaches," said one of the killers. "Immaculée will make 400. It's a good number to kill." I cowered in the corner of our tiny secret bathroom without moving a muscle, the story continues. Like the 7 other women hiding for their lives with me, I held my breath so that the killers wouldn't hear me breathing. The killers were just outside the door, and I knew that at any second they were going to find me. I wondered what it would feel like when the machete slashed through my skin and cut deep into my bones. I thought of my brothers and my dear parents, wondering if they were dead or alive, and if we would soon be together in heaven. I put my hands together, clasped my father's rosary, and silently began to pray. "Oh, please, God, please help me. Don't let me die like this, not like this. Don't let these killers find me. You tell us in the Bible that if we ask, we shall receive. Well, God, I'm asking. Please make these killers go away. Please, please don't let me die in this bathroom. Please, God, please, please save me. Save me." The killers moved from the house and we all began to breathe again, the story continues. They were gone, but they would be back many times over the next 3 months. I believe that God has spared my life, but I'd learned during the 91 days I spent trembling in fear with 7 others in a closet-sized bathroom that being spared is much different from being saved. And this lesson forever changed me. It's a lesson that in the midst of mass murder taught me how to love those who hated and haunted me, and how to forgive those who slaughtered my family. Her name, the quote is finished. Her name is Immaculée Ilibagiza. She discovered God during one of history's bloodiest holocausts. Born in Rwanda, she studied electronic and mechanical engineering at the National University. She lost most of her family during the 1994 genocide. 4 years later, she immigrated to the United States and began working at the United Nations in New York City. She's now a full-time public speaker and writer. In the year 2007, she established the Left to Tell charitable fund, which helps support Rwandan orphans. Immaculée holds honorary doctoral degrees from 10 universities. And how pleased we are that this is the 11th. In the year 2007, she was awarded the Mahatma Gandhi International Award for Reconciliation and Peace. It's my great honor to call to this podium today Immaculée Ilibagiza. How are you? You okay? No, not at we're so very honored. And there is water there. God bless.
Thank you so much. What beautiful words. Well, oh, you look beautiful, by the way. Really. Congratulations. Thank you for having me to share this beautiful day with you. It is such an honor to be honored by you to be in this beautiful place. By the way, how many of you have seen American Idol yesterday? Say the truth. It's not about them. You are the American Idols today. And you truly deserve it. They called me to share with you my story. I lived in 3 months for 10 minutes. I hope I can make it, but the president said so many great things about my story already. It is really a privilege. I mean, thinking back to see how my life was ending and to be here today, it is so humbling. But especially what I want to share with you, at least to mention in those few minutes, is the lessons I have learned, especially love. The word we have misused, the word we have used in so many different ways that we have forgotten sometimes the meaning of it. But if the world have loved each other, we would not have known things like a genocide. If people have loved one another, we would not have known the Holocaust. Love became much more deeper than what I ever knew before. Another lesson I learned is forgiveness. We all make mistakes. We hurt one another, willingly and unwillingly. But everyone, as long as we breathe, we have a chance to change. And if we are not willing to let go, we will never know peace, we will never know joy in this world. To let go and forgive. Thank you. As you heard, the genocide started in 1994. I was a student, like many of you. I went home for Easter holiday. Never knew what can happen to my family. I was one girl among 3 boys. Everyone cherished me. I thought life was going to be like that forever. And I never forgot the day it all changed. It was the 7th of April. My brother came to my room and gave me the bad news that the president of the country died. We knew my tribe was hated, but I never expected a genocide. In a few days, my parents asked me to go to hide. They were all worried about me. I was one girl in the family. They worried something can happen to me. So I went to a neighbor where my father told me to go to hide. The neighbor told me to sit in a bathroom, one small bathroom in his home, 3 by 4 feet, hoping that that was something that was going to end maybe in a few hours, 1 day or 2 days, but it kept going on. I remember towards the end of the week, I was very angry. I was so bitter. I was angry. I thought if I ever came out, I was going to be a killer, just like everyone. I thought about revenging my family. I thought about every bad movie I've seen. And sometimes I was Rambo. I was shooting. I was flying planes. You know, when you are angry, you can be very creative. You do things you really can't accomplish in person. But at one time, I was so bitter that I couldn't even take my body. Sometimes we get angry with 1 person, 2 people, but I was angry with 8 million people. And I thought, in my mind, I can accomplish killing each one of them. It was getting so much more painful. I remember one time they came searching for us. It was the worst fear I ever known. I remember reading the book of the diary of Anne Frank, the Holocaust survivor, the Jewish child who didn't make it. And when she talked about how the police came to search for them, she said, I can't explain the fear you feel when somebody is there looking for you. I understand what she meant. She skipped that chapter. She went after. For me, I never forgot, it was about 300 to 400 people looking in a 4-bedroom house to see if there was anybody hiding. They were 5 inches away from us. And the only thing can go through my mind, it was almost like 2 voices. One thing was saying, they're going to kill you. They will rape you. They will cut your head. They will cut your hands. But another voice was saying, ask God to help you. Ask God to help you. In that moment, though, it was almost like I forgot why I even believed in God before. Where is he? How can he be there? And the other voice was like, you crazy. You think we can really miss out one door out of 4-bedroom house? And I thought that made sense in my human imagination. Until the other voices continued to say, remember, God is almighty. Don't think about the possibilities. God is almighty. And almighty means what? It means he can do anything. Even this, hiding them from you, from the killers, is one of those anything. Just ask him to help you. It was like in a second, I started to ask God, if you exist, if you are the one who made the world, who made me, I beg you, protect us. And I think after that I fainted until after 5 hours, the man who was hiding us, he came and told us what happened, how they searched everywhere. And when they reached right at the door of the bathroom, they told him, you know what? We trust you. You are one of us. There is no way you can hide the bad people, the enemies of the country. And they went back. It was that moment, without a shadow of doubt in my heart, I knew there was God. There was God who loves you, who loves each one of us, who have made us, who is our Father, to ask him anything. I went through the Bible, I started to pray, and I remember that words, ask, it shall be given. Knock, it shall be open. If you have trust, small as a mustard seed, nothing shall be impossible to you. Thank you so much, thank you. I started to try to grow my faith to that little seed. And what was asked of me, as I remember in my heart, was, child, let go that anger. But how do I go? Do I let go? Until one time, I understood what it was. To forgive. I was contemplating Christ on the cross. And I remember the words he said when he was dying. Forgive them, Father. They don't know what they do. It wasn't, thank you so much. It wasn't the first part that really cracked my heart open. It was the last one. They don't know what they do. That was the moment I understood. The people who are hurting us, they don't get it. The people who are hurting us, they see us as enemies, snakes, cockroaches, as they said. They can't see innocence. They can't see human being. And so is everyone who do wrong to another. So is everyone who is practicing injustice towards another person. I saw myself as one of the people who among us sometimes who doesn't go to sleep. And you remember something you said, and then you tell yourself, oh my God, how can I do what I did? How can I say what I said? When I realized I was one of those people who can make mistakes, who can regret what I can do, I realized that even those who have killed, maybe they have a chance to apologize, to regret what I've done. And then I forgave them. My heart was free. The rest of the time I spent in the bathroom, I was so happy in my heart, though everything was crumbling around. We ended up spending in that bathroom 3 months. When we came out, I went in, I was 115 pounds. When I came out, I was 65 pounds. 1 million people have died in a period of 3 months. Rwanda is the size of Maryland State. Everybody in my family was killed. My mom, my dad, my 2 brothers, my grandma, my grandpa, neighbors, friends, schoolmates. In my school, we had 2,500 students. They killed 900. Everywhere was dead bodies. But somehow in my heart, there was that voice, don't crush, be strong. I am with you. There is a heaven. People don't disappear. Do what is right. Try to love if you have not loved. Try to forgive if you have not forgiven. And teach others to do so. It was almost like the world have divided in 2 places. People who are fighting and revenging and killing each other, and people who are trying to make peace, trying to teach, trying to learn something. And where do I choose to go? And so I ask you the same. Where do you choose to go? On the side of those who are fighting, on the side of those who are trying to make peace? And I do believe that you are at the side of those who are trying to make peace. Forgiveness has freed my heart. I couldn't be here today. I could not have published the book, which I never knew how to publish books, until I went on my knees again and begged God, help me out to publish this book. Or the dream I had in my heart was to see my book in Barnes & Noble. I never knew what else I wanted. I thought maybe 10 people will see my book. Never knew an author in my life who can even tell me how they do it. Until one day, I just kept going. That little voice telling you, who you think you are? Let it go. Stop it. I would just get up at night, go and write. Do your part, and complain after. I did my part. I finished the book 3 days later, and these things don't happen to me that quickly all the time. But I remember 3 days later, I went to a place, a workshop, something a little bit like this, and I remember I went online just to see what everyone was looking on the line. When I reached this man, I realized everyone was actually taking him books to sign. I ran and bought his book to see if I can look like everybody, just because I wanted to be there. And this man happened to ask me, where do you come from? I'm like, from Rwanda. Then his eyes opened up, and he said, do you know what happened there? I'm like, I know, I heard about that. Well, I told him a little bit, but I remember at the end, he was like, what makes you smile after all you have seen? I'm like, there is God. And then he's like, what makes you believe in God after all you have seen? Because that is all that is. And I remember he said, have you thought about writing a book? This was 3 days after I have just finished writing the book. The next 8 months that followed, this man who lives in Malawi have introduced me to his publisher. He have written 40 books. He's a much older person. Introduced me to his editor, and 8 months later, the book came out. 2 weeks later, I wish I knew what this whole thing meant. It was a New York Times bestseller. It have done so much great things for me, but the most important thing was to be able to make a foundation that helps other people in Rwanda. The greatest thing any pain you have gone through can do for you, where you really truly get your reward, is when you can use what have hurt you to help other people. And my dream came true. I won't say much. Again, I want to wish you a great day, but especially I want to tell you, no matter what happens to you, I know what you must have gone through to accomplish this, but no matter what happens to you, hold on to hope. Hold on to God. As long as you are breathing, there is always hope. And if I can forgive, anyone can forgive. This man who introduced me to the word, I never forgot the words he told me when he told me, go out, you will be speaking. You will write more. Share your heart. You don't have to be an expert. Just be yourself and share your heart. Remember he said, if in life you are conflicted between being kind and being right, if you are conflicted, because sometimes you have to choose one or the other, if you are conflicted between being kind and being right, always choose to be kind. And that, I leave it with you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, thank you.